Thinking about moving to Austin, it's easy to fall in love with the city, but there are some big mistakes that can cost you time, money, and a lot of sweat. So let's avoid them. Hi, I'm Mimi Bond. I help people relocate to Austin without losing their minds or their saving accounts. Today, we're going to be talking about the most common and painful mistakes I see people make when they move here. If you want to survive your move with your budget, your sanity, and your AC intact, watch this all the way through. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're planning a move. I've got more brutally honest videos coming every week. First, Austin layout confuses a lot of people. You've got downtown, funky east side, laid back south, ritzy west, and a ring of fast growing suburbs like Buda, Kyle, Pflugerville. Every decision from traffic to taxes depends on where you literally land. It's not just Austin, each part of the city feels totally different. You need to think about where you will work, what kind of vibe you want, and even what school district you need before you start searching for an apartment or a home. One of the biggest myths I often hear is that Austin is still this hidden gem in terms of cost. People come here expecting rent to be half what it is in New York or LA. And they get slammed with reality, honestly. The truth is, yes, it's cheaper than those places, but it's not cheap. A one bedroom downtown apartment is about $2,500 a month. Property taxes are brutal too. And if you want to buy a home, median price in the city of Austin is $550,000. And that's not pocket change. If you're on a tight budget, I would highly suggest for you to consider the suburbs. Pflugerville, Manor, Kyle, Buda, they're all growing really fast and still have some affordability left. Okay, Austin truly feels like a small city until you get stuck on I 35 during rush hour. I personally avoid I 35 at all costs. It's easiest one of the worst highways in the country. And don't even get me started on Mopac. The thing is, unless you live and work in the same zip code, you're going to need a car and you're going to need patience. So, live close to where you work. Seriously, even a short commute can stretch into a 45-minute drive during the peak hours. Okay, this next one. Everyone jokes about Texas heat, but until you live through 110 degrees day in August without a working AC, you don't really get it. Older homes, especially, can be a problem because their insulation and HVAC systems weren't built to take this kind of heat. You will be miserable and your energy bills will be outrageous. So, before you sign a lease, please make sure that you check on the AC, make sure it's working, see how old it is, and make sure if you're able to look at the past utilities and see how much electricity you will be paying in the summer. So, are you still with me? Good, because the next few mistakes can wreck your budget and your quality of life. And they're things that people never think about until it's too late. Okay, this is a big one too. I know it's really tempting to just pick up and start fresh, but until you have a job lined up or a lot of savings, I would say that's risky. Yes, Austin has jobs, especially in tech and healthcare, but competition is stiff. I've seen people burn through their savings way faster than expected while they were searching. So start applying before you move. Try to secure a remote role or a local offer in advance, or have at least 6 months of expenses saved up for. Okay, Texas does not have income tax. Yay! But they do make up for it through the property taxes. In Austin, you're looking at anywhere between 2.3% to 2.8%. That means a $500,000 home could cost you $11,000 to $14,000 a year in taxes, and that adds up, especially if you're stretching your budget to buy. So, make sure you always check the property taxes for the exact area that you're buying in, and also ask for the HOA fees. It can vary a lot between neighborhoods. I really wish I could say that you don't need a car in Austin, but that's just not true. We don't have a subway system. The metro rail is limited. And while the buses exist, they're just not convenient for most people. So, unless you live and work downtown, the Domain, or South Congress, you will be driving. So, plan to have a car. And if you don't want to drive much, just make sure that where you live is close to your work because proximity is everything here. Welcome to Cedar Fever Capital. You might think you don't have allergies, but trust me, Austin will test you. There's people that have lived in Austin for years and then they start getting allergies. Winter brings cedar pollen, spring brings oak and grass, and fall brings raw wheat. And mold is a year round specialty. It's rough, so invest in a HEPA filter purifier and get ready to experiment with a bunch of allergy medicine. It's a rite of passage for sure, and you will understand when you get here. People think all of Austin is funky coffee shops, live music, and cool murals, but every area has its own vibe. West Austin is luxury suburbs. East Austin is artsy and changing fast. South Austin is laid back. The suburbs, they're totally different. So if you move without exploring, you might end up somewhere that doesn't fit you at all. So, my advice would be to visit during different times of the day. Make sure you talk to people who live there and don't just rely on Instagram. Listen, the food here is amazing, but it's also not cheap. Between tacos, barbecue, brunch, it all adds up. I've had clients move here and spend $1,000 a month on food without realizing it, especially if you're doing takeout or dining out a few times a week. So, my advice would be set a food budget. And if you like cooking, great. You will save a lot. Yes, Austin is known for being young and techy, but there's a lot more to it. Families love it for the schools and the outdoor lifestyle. Retirees like the warm weather and active communities. And if you're into real estate, appreciation has been really strong, even with the market ups and downs. There is a spot here for almost everyone, but you need to pick a neighborhood that matches you. So, the real question is Austin's right for you? It all depends. If you come here with the right expectations, a solid plan, and a little flexibility, you will probably love it. But if you ignore these mistakes, then you might regret the move. Got any questions about your move? Please drop them below. I truly answer every single one of them. Subscribe for more brutally honest guides. And coming up next, we have a day in the life in Austin. So don't miss it.